Hey, this is Jimmy Cooper. I'm making this video today to talk about why I'm running for president, even though most people have never heard of me before, and why I'm doing so while undergoing treatment for cancer. First, to answer the question, why I'm running for president, even though most people have never heard of me before. The fact is that things are never going to change for the better, and the system is never going to work for the average American until we stop relying on privileged millionaires and billionaires and establishment politicians to run things. We need people who know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck and struggle to get by, and who can actually relate to working class Americans to run for office and win, because these are the people who will actually make the system work for all of us. We need a working class progressive running for president. It doesn't have to be me, but I didn't see another working class progressive doing it, and so I decided to step up. And we also need working class progressives to run for every other office in government, and I hope that my campaign will help to inspire that. Now, to answer the question why I'm running for office while I'm currently undergoing treatment for cancer. First, a little background. Early this year it was discovered that I have cancer. It was ultimately diagnosed as multiple myeloma, which is a cancer of the blood and bone marrow. I'm nearing the end of the chemo phase of my treatment, and the next part is a stem cell or bone marrow transplant, which is scheduled for September. Multiple myeloma is incurable, however, it can go into remission. Earlier this year, I was in really bad shape. That's the reason I'm getting such a late start with this campaign. However, now I'm feeling a whole lot better, and I'm hoping that the transplant will be successful and that the cancer will go into remission. So, why am I running for president with all of that going on? Although cancer unfortunately caused me to get a late start, what's at stake is far too important to sit this election out. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is made up of climate scientists from all over the world, we have just until 2030 to cut carbon emissions by at least 50% in order to avoid multiple climate tipping points, which will have catastrophic consequences. The election of 2024 is our last chance to elect a president and Congress who will act decisively in dealing with the climate crisis before it's too late to avoid climate devastation. In addition to that, the gap between rich and poor continues to grow ever wider. More and more Americans are struggling just to get by. Tens of millions of Americans still don't have adequate health care. The rights of LGBTQIA+ Americans are under attack. Black Americans continue to face systemic racism. Children are still being kept in cages at the border. Immigrants continue to be deported, and families continue to be torn apart, just to name a few of the problems that currently plague our nation. While establishment politicians sit in their ivory towers and get rich while they're in office, millions of Americans are suffering, and every single day lives are destroyed, and people literally die from lack of health care and other preventable causes. It's time that we start electing candidates who actually care about people. Every single day that we wait, more Americans suffer, more lives are destroyed, and more people die who could have been saved. I'm calling on my fellow Americans to start working together now to change all of that beginning this election. I have a plan for working class progressives to take control of the Democratic Party. That's the topic of one of my upcoming videos coming soon. I'm also calling on my fellow working class progressive Americans to run for office this election. And I'm calling on my fellow Americans who want to see things change for the better to support and vote for every single working class progressive who does run for office. We need to run for and win enough seats to win a majority so that we can put progressive policies into action. That's the reason why I'm running for president this election. Cancer caused me to get a late start, and the DNC establishment has put new rules into effect this election to make it harder for Democratic challengers to get on the ballot. As of right now, I have less than 2 months to qualify to get on the ballot. I don't take money from super PACs because I'm a candidate for the people, not corporations. And so, if you want to see a candidate who will actually work for the people have a chance to get elected, then please consider making a donation to our campaign so that I can get over the threshold required to get on the ballot. Also, please support me as a candidate in the polls so that I can get over the 10% required to get on the ballot. As a working class American myself, I promise to never stop making the needs of the people my number one priority. I'm asking you to give me a chance to do that as president. Thanks for watching. For now, this is Jimmy Cooper signing out. More videos to come.